Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the DVC Show. Coming to you from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Pete Werner. Joined at the table this week by my good friends, Amy Krieger.
Hello.
Paul Krieger.
Hey, everybody.
Derek DeBoer.
Hey, now.
And back in the production nook, our producer for this show, Mr. John Sakari.
Hello, everyone.
Also known as Big Fat Panda from BigFatPanda.com.
How dare you?
I know. I feel like I'm fat shaming you every time I say that.
Not at all. Not at all.
But I figured give you a plug.
Thank you.
Give you a plug. So, before we get into this week's show, which is about Vero Beach, by the way, just a reminder that this show, along with all the DVC content that we produce, brought to you by the world of DVC, which includes DVCResaleMarket.com if you'd like to purchase your DVC resale contract from someone like Derek. DVCRentalStore.com, where you can rent out your points, because yes, you can do that too. You can rent out your points. Or rent some points to try before you buy. It's a great way to dip your toe in the water. See if DVC is right for you. Plus, you'll save a ton over going direct through Disney. And of course, the crack dealer of the DVC world, MoneraFinancial.com, where you can get financing very easily for your DVC resale purchase. So those wonderful companies, all of which I have done business with. I'm going to tell you something. Renting out points for my I needed a a 2-bedroom Grand Californian reservation. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I put the request in. What was it? Like a day?
Yeah. It was just a day or two later, and we had a member that had the points that matched with your reservation.
And
it was
got it.
Perfect.
Got it. Grand Californian. That's like the holy grail of the DVC world to get a reservation there.
Yes, it is.
And for it to be so simple.
Yeah, there's like 1 2-bedroom there, I think. You got it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But, I was able to stay there for a couple of nights on my last trip to Hawaii, and we're booking it for the same thing as part of our Hawaii trip, because Panda and my Sea Disney team who were out there with us in March, they're going out with us again next year. We're like, are we doing California again? Are we going to stay at the Grand Californian again? I'm like, oh, okay.
We got to get on that team.
Yeah.
What are we doing wrong?
Hey, you do VIP tours. You do VIP tours with Club 33. I think you're all right.
We hang out in parking garages.
And parking garages. So, all right. Now, Paul and Amy recently had an experience out at Vero Beach that they want to share with us. And I was informed right before the show that Derek is apparently the unofficial ambassador for Vero Beach.
Unofficial title.
Self-appointed.
Self-appointed. But you love Vero Beach.
I love it. And I get so excited when I knew that Paul and Amy were actually going to go for the first time, because it's one of those things where, like, God, I remember my first time at Vero, and I just fell in love with it. So I know a little bit about how your trip was, so I'm hoping that you fell in love with it as much as I do, but hopefully not too much, so you take my availability.
Do you stalk us? Like, how do you know?
So what was it? I've only been there once. It was many, many years ago. I can't even recall the experience, but.
So I think that Vero Beach is a perfect relax. It's
happening
to
everybody.
Yeah, I have no words today. It's a perfect relaxation place for us. We kind of appointed it as like a pre or post cruise couple of nights, or if you were traveling to Disney World, it would be great to spend a couple nights there and then go to Disney, or vice versa. There are members that go for like a week at a time. We did meet someone from the DVC fan group that was there. I think they were like on their 7th night. There's not like a ton of things to do around the area. There's some really good restaurants, but the beach is really nice. Disney is really good about like turtle conservation. So every morning there are cast members that walk. They cover like a 5-mile stretch of the beach around Vero, and they mark like turtle nesting areas so that they're protected, and they also do it for research. And so you can like go out in the mornings, and the cast members, you can follow one around, like it's actually like a thing that you can go do, and they will show you the turtle egg nest and tell you about them. And I thought that was kind of really neat that they do that. And then it's relaxing. The pool is very nice. It's a very nice area, and it's just very Disney. And I've always said this to Paul, and we felt this when we went to Alani. We felt this on the Disney cruise. You know, we did our first Disney cruise on the podcast cruise. And there's just something that you just feel so at home and well taken care of when you're doing something that is Disney based. And that's how we felt at Vero Beach. It was just like that Disney difference of the cast members, the music, the background music that was just always, you know, perfect in the perfect location.
The lobby smell.
The way the lobby smells, the rooms, the cleanliness, just the little touches and the decor, and it was Disney, but it wasn't the craziness of the parks, and it was just very relaxing. I don't know that we would go for a week, but definitely, you know, a few nights before the cruise, or a few nights, you know, before doing something else, or just like a weekend away. I think it's perfect for that.
Yep. Yeah, I would echo all of those sentiments. You know, it really is an escape where you can really just unwind, disconnect. You know, if you go to the beach, if you've historically gone on beach vacations and stuff like that, it's the same as that. But as Amy said, it's just peppering in all of these little Disney differences that make it extra special and extra magical. The music, the smells.
Cast members are awesome.
Cast members.
They're so great.
Yeah.
Whether at the front desk or the people down by the beach, they're just amazing. Amazing.
And I don't know if this is the case, but I almost feel like Disney Vacation Club forgets about Vero Beach and Hilton Head and some of these other external resorts, because they do feel like they're captured in time a little bit too, to like the good old days of DVC, like the thing that the sort of activities that they have available to do at these resorts are creative. They're having fun. You know, it's really, I feel like they have the leash is off a little bit, I guess, from the typical Disney World DVC resorts. They have more that they can do, and there's just more fun, like little creative touches that make it feel extra special. It kind of has
to be, because that's it. Like there's no park.
There's no four parks to pick and choose from. So they have that list that you get at the front desk every day, and there's so much stuff and such creative stuff, and you know, painting your wine glass or beer steins, and of course, you know, the movies on the Great Lawn at night and all of that. There's just so many activities. There's paper airplane flying competitions that take place in the lobby too as well. So there's just so much stuff for not just kids, but there's, you know, rum tasting for the adults in the evening. So there's just so much stuff to just pick and choose. And I agree. I don't want to go there for a week. A week would be a little long for me. So we go there probably 3-4 times a year, probably 2 nights, maybe 3 nights. Mm-hmm. But man, it's just such a great place that, you know, 2 hours from Disney, and you come over that, you know, the overpass, and you check into the resort, and like Amy said, you walk into that lobby and it smells so good. And the cast members, many of them have been there for 20 some years. So they've been there for such a long time. And even Linda, who works with us at the DVC resale market, she actually sold. So she was on the opening team at Vero Beach. So she actually lived there. She worked there selling DVC. So it's got such a history with these cast members. And yeah, there's so many great restaurants that are nearby in the area. I don't want to go off on a tangent because I really don't like the food at Vero Beach. So I don't know what your experience was. I didn't like it.
I've not heard good
I don't
things.
like it. I don't like it. But there's so many great restaurants to pick and choose from around there that are close enough by. But man, I wish that food was better. Makes me crazy.
Yeah, so Wind and Waves is the primary restaurant there on property. We did breakfast there one morning. Mm-hmm. I don't have anything negative to say about it. You know, our service was good. I thought the food was good. It reminds me, if I can equate it to anything, it's like maybe like an Olivia's Cafe.
That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
It's standard Disney table service. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't
So it's
bad,
not.
though.
It's not your California Grill. It's not your Topolino's.
I always love when we have to say that, though. You know, it really wasn't terrible. I mean, it really wasn't terrible. I don't think I got sick.
I mean, it's better than an IHOP or like something like that. But no, I didn't think it was all that terrible. Yeah, it was good. Is it like the Wind and Waves Market? Is that what the
Yeah.
The quick service.
the
Yeah.
quick service is? We had quick service there for lunch one day. Again, it's
fine.
It's the same as any Disney quick service. It's
Right.
I'm not gonna write home about it, but it was very
Like,
good.
It's the same nuggets. It's the same French fries. It's
Yeah.
that like
Yeah.
Disney, yeah.
But that's it. Like
Right.
you've got that table service and you've got that quick service. So you go off the property for anything else. But there are some really good restaurants out there. We went to one called Ocean Grill. It was like gothic, like the decoration.
Isn't that place so cool?
It was very cool. And if you look up how they decorate for Halloween and Christmas, it just blows my mind. Like the pictures are just incredible. But there are just really great places that you can go and eat locally. And if you're going there, you're probably going to have a car, a rental car or drive. That's our recommendation. And so, 5-minute drive or so to get to some good places to eat.
And that's the story too. When Disney built it, when they were deciding where to put Vero Beach, they picked Vero Beach because there's no high rises. So it's not like your typical beach vacation. So say, you go to Panama City or you go to Daytona where there's, huge giant structures and everything else. There's not a building over a couple stories tall, like anywhere you look. So when you're on that beach, it's so cool because there's just no big high rises on the left. There's no big high rises on the right. So it's got this really kind of small town quaintness to it. So it's
Now, do you own it, Vero?
no, I don't want to own there. The dues are too high.
Dues are too high. That's the big thing is that the price of Vero Beach on the resale market is really low.
It's the number one question I probably get 50 times a day is when people are learning about the club. They're like, hey, so if I buy these points at Vero, I could use them at any Disney Vacation Club resort, right? And then you have to explain about the dues and everything else. So that's the first thing that people gravitate to is just, wait a second, I could buy 400 points at Vero.
But because it's located on the ocean,
Insurance
is sky high. So the maintenance fees, the dues you pay per point every year is astronomical.
I think they're like 12 something, I think, right now.
They're crazy. I can
Yeah,
tell you that.
$12, 12 something a point for your maintenance fees. Compare that to Saratoga Springs.
Yeah.
And you have to factor that in
Yes.
when deciding to buy Vero. But you can use your resale points at Vero Beach
7 months or less.
7 months out. And
There's probably, there's not a crazy time of year, maybe like the biggest holidays, so that 4th of July is always very, very popular. So I've had folks over these years, they'll say, listen, we're just going to buy 100 points at Vero because we know it's hard to get in over the 4th of July. Or maybe it's that Christmas week, that time frame. So, or if they want to get one of the cottages. Because Vero's famous for those cottages. Standalone beach cottages, 2 stories. They're incredible.
Those look beautiful. And that's where my head went is, if this is the type of vacation that sounds perfect to you, and you want to stay in one of those Vero Beach cottages.
I like the idea of 4th of July.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really, that's that case in which I would probably say definitely buy there because though I know they're extremely hard to get into.
There are 6. There are 6, I'm pretty sure, right? Because we were counting them. Yeah. And so availability, like they said, busy times, spring break can be a little tough at the 7-month mark. But we went middle of May and we were with there were 3 parties and all 3 of us are DVC members and we all 3 were able to book at the 7-month mark an ocean view in room, which are kind of like one of the most sought out rooms because that's the only room that guarantees you an ocean view that's just like a studio type room. So that's pretty good availability I think for 3 of us to be able to get 3
And the in rooms
separate.
are awesome. I think the in rooms are way better than a standard studio, just because you have 2 queen beds, right? But you also have the little microwave. You still have the little refrigerator in the room. So the same thing you get with a studio, but it's in the main building. So you're centrally located right there in the main building. And like you said, if you can get an ocean view room, those are awesome.
It's sort of similar to that thought at like Old Key West, like that near hospitality house concept. So those in rooms are actually in the main building. So you're going to be right near the food, the pool, the beach access and all of that. Whereas all of the other buildings are sort of scattered out. So the standard deluxe studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, those cottages, they're out around the resort a little bit more. But Yeah, it was absolutely great. Ocean Grill, I would go back to, like, I would go there every night probably.
I love that place.
We also went to a place called the Crab Stop. Not my cup of tea necessarily. It's a little louder joint. They had some live music going on and stuff like that. And I wouldn't say the food was anything that, this is going to sound terrible, but like anything more than you could get at like a Joe's Crab Shack or something like that. So yeah, take that as you wish. It could be your cup of tea.
It gets good reviews. People do love it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for us.
Yeah, they also do not accept advance reservations at Crab Stop, I believe. So that was an issue for us.
There are a lot of really cute shopping areas of like little like mom and pop type, small businesses.
Right down the road, there's
Yeah.
that mall that's down maybe about 5 miles down the road where they've got really great stores, including one called Coastal Comforts. The guy's the DVC owner. There's a DVC discount when you go there. We have so much stuff in our house is from that store. Over the years, the owner's fantastic, great guys. And yeah, our kids have kind of grown up there. So every time we go to Vero, we always say, before we check in, we got to stop off at Coastal Comforts and go say hi
They
to
give a
Dan.
DVC discount.
DVC discount, 10%.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's a great store. So yeah, lots of cool little shopping. There's a great brewery there too as well called Walking Tree. That's really fantastic. So I love Walking Tree. And yeah, great restaurants. And Disney, when you talk to them at the front desk, ask them for suggestions. They're not going to try to force you to eat at Wind and Waves if you don't want to. So there's great places that are on marinas, riverside cafes, really fantastic. So yeah, there's, whether you want like, super elegant, fancy, on the water, on the beach, there's a ton of different choices there too.
And if you're sick of hearing about Vero Beach, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have all kinds of Vero Beach content over on dvcfan.com coming up pretty soon. Amy did an article talking about our experience there. I know our good friend Jeff Haslam, he actually wrote an article as well, so we're gonna have that up as well. So we're gonna have multiple different sort of perspectives sharing our Vero Beach experiences. But I think the key thing that I do come back to here is it is a perfect destination for like a pre or post cruise. 2 or 3 nights. It's about an hour from the port. Not a bad drive. You can either take A1A just straight up the coast, or you can hop over to 95 if you like crazy interstate driving more than slow, relaxed driving. Both are about the same period of time, but yeah, I think it is a nice complement to a cruise. And
I'm just sitting here looking at resale prices, $73 a point. For a 260-point contract? Is that a lot of points, do you think, for Vero?
It's got a really good point chart. Other than the big giant cabins, which of course are, going to use up a good chunk of points. We always like to go right before Christmas. So the points are low. I think you can get a room like Sunday through Thursday, like literally right before Christmas. You can get maybe like 15 to 20 points a night for like an in-room, which I think is a great deal for your points. So yeah, other than those big giant cabins, which of course are going to use a whole bunch, but you can always check it out on our website. We've got all the point charts, so you can see the Vero Beach point chart. So yeah, 260 is a good amount of points.
Yeah, I think that would be
For Vero.
that would definitely be enough to probably do a nice
You could bring me and
week
Paul
long.
and Adrian.
Yeah. We'll book some in rooms and check out Vero Beach.
Yeah, I have to get out there.
You really do.
I have to get out there.
And I think especially, you're like, again, pre or post cruise, I think would be excellent for you. Like it would just be a nice little, let me go there for a day or two and then hop on the cruise ship.
Derek wants me to go because he knows I'll buy contracts.
Right.
Yeah, you can get a room for as little as 10 points a night at the standard in room.
That's crazy.
And their grand villas, as low as 60 points.
Yeah.
That's a 1-bedroom at Riviera can be 60 something points.
Right.
So
and those
this
cottages
is a
sleep
3-bedroom.
12. They sleep 12 people.
Yeah, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-story cottage. It has like balconies, and we kind of peeked inside when one was getting cleaned, but yeah, they're really nice.
I volunteer to go to Matterport at Pete.
Well, they have to set us up with... I've spent enough of my points in the Matterport. It's time for Rental Store to cough up those points. I'll be more than happy to go out and check it out.
Paul, hi.
the last thing I'll definitely say about this is make sure you leave your mark on Vero Beach when you're there as well.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
You piss on a pole?
I mean, that is what Paul did.
I mean, is leave your mark.
You're gonna scare the
A
turtles.
couple things.
That's,
God.
that's the Jersey in
This
me. That's
is
the
dumb.
first thing I think of.
Never
is,
mind. It's going to be a sentimental moment. It's dead now.
So you get a seashell from the ocean. You don't pee on it, but you
pee on it?
They'll give you a marker at the front desk, and you put your name and like the year. And they have these glass jars throughout the lobby that you put it in, so you can kind of look. And there's like different names, and some of them we even recognized from like the DVC fan group. And so it would have like their names and then the dates that they went. And so we put ours in, and somebody found it and posted it on DVC fan. So I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Oh,
Leave a little legacy behind of your trip.
that's what you meant by
That's
leave
what-
your mark.
Yeah, no.
I'm glad you clarified.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your experience at Vero Beach with us. Thank you guys for being with us. That's going to do it for our show for this week. I think we left it off on a nice note about pissing on a pole. Hope you
Vero's
enjoyed.
calling right now. Hold on 1 second.
Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again next week with another episode of the DVC show. Have a great week, folks.